Here we have the North Attleboro, Massachusetts powder house on a postcard from roughly 1915-ish, and here it is today. Most notable change is definitely how the stone wall that used to be right in front of the house has been moved. It looks to me like they actually pushed it to the side to make way for this protective fence, maybe. You can see how it bulges to the side around the fence, and it looks like there's still some stone embedded in the ground where the wall might have been. None of the trees in the back really line up anymore, which makes sense seeing as none of the trees around here really seem all that old. This one back here kind of lines up to the postcard, but I still think it's a little too small to actually be the one in the postcard. Maybe though. Anyway, what about the powder house? What is it? What's its history? Well, during the run-up to the American Revolutionary War, the town of Attleboro voted in 1768 to have this little building built to store the town militia's gunpowder supply. The town treasurer, Jacob Newell, volunteered to have the powder house built on his land, and to mark the event, he made an entry in the town treasury records, basically saying, "I hereby give the town the right to build the powder house on my land, and I want everyone who needs to get some powder to feel free to do so at any time for the good of town and country. Everybody deserves equal access to my plot of land. But also, don't forget to shut the gate on the way out." The building saw pretty significant use all throughout the Revolutionary War and again throughout the War of 1812. It was quite consistently stocked with barrels of gunpowder for several decades. Of course, when dealing with something as dangerous as gunpowder, a few rules had to be followed, like no working in the powder house at night. You need a torch so you can see what you're doing, and obviously we don't want live fire in a building full of gunpowder. And no wearing shoes in there either. If a cobbler put a nail in your shoe and you scuff the ground a little too hard, that could mean a spark and a big boom. After the War of 1812, our powder house fell out of use, and it just kind of sat and rotted for years, until 1879, when $60 was set aside to begin repairs on it. From there, the powder house has been pretty well cared for. A lot of work has gone into this little building over the years. For example, in this picture that's even older than the one on our postcard, we can see that there used to be some pretty severe damage on the side of the door here that's since been patched up. And this little sketch from an 1894 article in the Boston Globe tells us that there used to be some kind of weather vane on top of the building. And this 1933 picture shows us that this shiny thing on the door in our postcard picture was some kind of placard that has since been removed. I do like that they left some of the wear and tear unfixed though, to keep the house from looking too pristine and sterile. Like these little chips out of the door frame in our postcard photo that you can still see today. I mean, that's how powder houses like these should be remembered, right? As well-worn war relics. There were powder houses like this one all across New England, a lot still standing today, and each representing an era when little towns like Attleboro needed a hefty supply of ammunition available at all times. Imagine a soldier over 200 years ago rushing up this hill, trying to load up his musket before charging off into battle. And hey, while we're talking about New England's powder houses in general, one thing you might notice is that a lot of them are circular, just like this one. A lot harder to build a circular building than a rectangle, right? So what's the point? Why design it like this? Well, apparently they thought that a circular shape in the event of an explosion would funnel the explosion straight upward rather than outward. So it would just blow the roof off the building only and leave the rest of it intact. Can you imagine that? You're some soldier back in the Revolutionary War, you're getting some powder out of the house, you accidentally scuff your cobbler's nail across the floor, a spark creates a small fire in the corner of the house, you rush out in fear, ready for a massive explosion, you plug your ears, and then boom, just the top rockets into space like a geyser, leaving a perfect stone circle behind. You look at that and say, thank God we made that puppy a circle. Who knows how many people could have died if it was a square? Thanks for watching.